Check.
Good job. Way to get the sound check, babe.
Can I get a sound check?
We're going to tell Carson. We are going to get right into some heavy duty marriage stuff. But before we do, first, listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in just week after week after week.
Yes.
We have a little announcement about the Roadcast. Is that a drum roll?
Yes.
Okay, do that again.
Here.
Wow. No.
Okay.
Do not be tapping the microphone. That is not the tequila talking, because you have not had a margarita.
I have not had a margarita.
We are recording, and we're rolling. You want to start over?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. There's a lot of dead time, and I don't really feel like editing. I'm just getting lazy. So we're going to get into some heavy-duty marriage stuff. First of all, listeners, thank y'all for tuning in, literally, and sorry about all the dead space here. We are going to be taking a little break until the first Monday in September. So yes, and we know that's Labor Day,
I believe so.
but that doesn't mean our podcast stops.
That's right.
We're going to take a break for the month of August, and lots of fun stuff coming up in August. If you've been following along on Jamie's social media posts, by the way, thank you, babe, for doing all the social media.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You know, I don't post on, people know this. I mean, we started doing some videos and some posts for Long Haul Marriage. I worked a lot on some early videos, and obviously we do the podcast, done some content on TikTok. Don't post a lot on Facebook or Instagram unless
You don't ever post.
Right. Exactly. That was my point. But something's coming up. I'm working on something that I'm going to be working on the entire month of August, and hope to be almost finished, if not finished, with a project that I've been working on that's going to be so exciting for me to release, because it's going to make up for years of not posting. So all of you, it's like, man, look at that. Jamie always posts on their anniversary. She always posts on Valentine's Day. She always has these lovey-dovey, ooey-gooey posts. And Brian never posts about her. Well, because I don't post about anybody. But if I were ever going to post about anyone, it would be my wife. And let's just say, big post coming, baby.
Something is coming
call
out.
It a post. Yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm really excited. I don't like to post on social media, but we know that's the world we live in. We got to do it. And we'll circle back, because there's going to be talking about some of that stuff for our podcast today. But we will be taking a break, so this will be the final podcast. If you tune in next Monday, we're not going to even do reruns or reposts like some people do. If you want to go back and you've missed a few weeks, go ahead and do that. Or you just want to listen again to some of those. We recommend to a lot of people to go back and listen to those first 6 episodes. And then we've done some video episodes along the way. A couple of really cool interviews. If you didn't get those, with Zoe and Kay. And let's see, who else? Oh, let's tell everybody about the podcast that's coming out. Is it July 31st? We're going to be on
I think that's what
Fit
she said.
Over 50 podcast with Kelly Calabrese and what's his name? We didn't know him, but they did a great interview. We were on the Fit Over 50. Not that we're fit, and not that we're over 50.
I think it's because our marriage is fit.
Wow.
And
it's not quite over 50, but yes, we are over
emotionally and spiritually, maybe we're fit.
That's cool.
And I would say you were probably invited because you're physically fit.
Oh gosh. Shut up. Look, she's laughing so hard. You just making fun.
No, I'm being serious. I thought I was laughing because what that says about me.
I can just laugh at that. We can laugh at the days to come, like the Proverbs 31 woman.
Yes. So we'll put that, we'll mention that again when that podcast with them drops.
Hey to one of our listeners, and no last names, but Melanie, thank you so much for your comments on these last couple of videos, or our last podcast, excuse me. We really appreciate those comments from our listeners. So thank you for that. James.
Yes.
Like, wait, I didn't even see them. You got to log on to Spotify to see our comments.
Oh, Oh, well, she did text me a couple of things, so that's awesome.
It's awesome. It's really, really cool. Yeah, if you missed the last one, it was The Second Wife. It's Not What You Think. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. Oh, wait, no, that's not the one. It was the one about us laughing about our...
yes.
Our
the picnic table. Laughing for the long haul.
Yes.
That was good.
So before we record this last little episode before our little break, can I just say, I know you're thinking, what's he going to talk about? I do not want to name any names, right? It's not about a person anyway. It's about a restaurant. And we just, it's like we had 3 couples back to back to back this afternoon. And then the last one went a little long and it was great stuff. But so supper plans got a little dinner.
A little hijacked.
We say supper here in Aurora. But they got a little mixed up. And so we thought, you know what? Let's just go run and grab something real quick. And this particular restaurant we went to, it was no different than I would say probably 90% of the restaurants that you do go into. But the level of noise and chaos and people running around, it was the least zen experience. Now, again, this is not kind of place you go if you're wanting to. It's not like quiet dining or some nice dining. It's not fast food either, but it definitely wasn't fast food tonight. But it wasn't just the noise, the blaring, blasting loud country music that, I'm sorry, I told Jamie it was...
You're about to lose some listeners if you say what I think you're about to say.
Well, just the formula songs. You know what's coming. I know the chord progression.
Brian Hackney does not love country music.
Oh, man. Anyway, so... and then, bless her heart, a waitress dropped a huge tray of water. One dumped right on the guy behind me. The other one dumped right on me. But that wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem. Just how loud and chaotic and just out of control these places are. It's like, what are we doing? Our culture, we crave noise. We can't stand quiet. We don't like peace. It's like we got to have some noise. We got to have some chaos.
It makes us feel right at home. Very loud, and
it's just a statement
you kind
about
of
where we
felt it right immediately when you walked in. Plus, it's a new restaurant,
and for
over
you
here.
to feel it, because you kind of grew up in that environment.
I did. I grew up one of 5 siblings, and there was just it was never just us. We always all had friends, so there were a good 8 to 10 of us there at all times. So that was a little crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm no stranger to loud and boisterous and fun.
But isn't it wild though? That's just like what people do. People pay to go out and sit in that and eat. It's like, man, we were just thinking,
we might be sounding old.
Yes.
You know you're old.
And okay. All right. So let's, so Luke Bryan, I'm just going to mention Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan was blasting. Zach Brown Band. Neither one of those guys do I not like. Matter of fact, Luke Bryan, I like him on American Idol. Just as a human being, as a person. Don't know him, right? But I like what he presents and all that. Good old country boy, nice, seems like pretty grounded, and he likes to fish and hunt and all that good stuff. But man, it wasn't about him, and it wasn't about the Zach Brown Band and the videos. Matter of fact, I saw something. Did I say Mac Brown? I meant Zach Brown.
No, you said Zach Brown.
Zach Brown's ex-wife is on TikTok talking about their divorce. His ex-wife talking about the divorce and all how nasty that got. I feel for him.
That's that's really sad. I didn't know much about it before you were telling me.
Even though she posted something.
Yeah, so who knows what is true. But it doesn't really matter what's true or not. I mean, it does in life. But what I'm saying is that something that once was, I love you enough to stand and go to the altar and marry you, turns into whatever is happening now between them. Just total contempt and lawsuits and just,
it's hard to think
that
these people who are once in love and said, I do. Now it's not just their divorce. It's just like, contempt and just messy. I don't know why I said messy because I looked up and I saw your little poster. Jamie's got a little picture that said messy bun, getting stuff done. And you're definitely got the messy bun.
I do
going.
have a messy bun tonight.
You look cute.
I think it's just because I'm just always in the pool.
You look cute.
Thank you.
Say that. And I will say this. You look freaking great today on the Zoom. You popped on the Zoom.
Wow. Okay. So
you
can we
looked
just
awesome.
thank you?
I was like, wow.
Thank you.
Woo.
Thank you. Let's just
hard
move.
to focus. Yeah. That was. You may think like, what do you mean on Zoom? So when we Zoom with couples, we are in two different rooms. And we could sit in the same room on the same, screen and all that, but we choose to do it a little different way. But I like that vibe.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that, but most people that listen to us that have not met with us, they don't know. Primarily, we do virtual appointments. So even though we are in Aurora, Texas, you can be in Norway, anywhere. You can be in Oklahoma, you can be in South Dakota.
Yep.
And we will meet with you, and we do it over Zoom.
You could be in Dubai.
You could be in Dubai. And it just works out great. I love it because it removes so many barriers. Now, we do have people who just prefer to be in person, and they don't mind driving out to meet at our home. And so we do that, but that is way fewer and further between than our Zoom appointments.
Yeah. So let's do this.
Love it.
Let's because we've already got we're 11 minutes in. Can y'all believe that? I know y'all have just been riveted. So we're gonna let's shoot for about 30 minutes here, but we want to talk about. Well, you bring it up. You said at dinner time tonight you were saying, "Hey, let's talk about this." Yeah.
So something that we were actually talking to Carson and Sarah about, our youngest son and his girlfriend.
Sweet Sarah. We talked about Sarah lately.
We love Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah.
Keep her.
But we were talking about how sad it is. There was a young couple that they know that I think has been married maybe 3 years and is going through a divorce. And so we just started into that conversation about just
and when you're in school with them and you graduate with them and you see it just seems like it probably didn't even seem like 3 years. They blink and all of a sudden it's like wait, they were just getting married and now they're divorced.
So just how sad it is to watch a marriage dissolve, and when it's a person or two people that you've known before, and then just to see what happens, it's sad. And it's interesting when you just said that. Even but how we could just unpack that even that phrase. See, when you said to watch a marriage dissolve, like what dissolved? Did the marriage dissolve? Is the marriage the thing that dissolved? Like what does that even mean? Well, the two people made a decision, and the marriage dissolved. So anyway, just it's sad to see what happens, and we've walked through with many people the end of their marriage. And it's always just hard, not that we've said before, as you all know, we're in it for the long haul, and we pray for redemption for people's marriages. We want marriages to be restored and be healthy and strong. But there are times too where it's just a really, really hard situation, and they just can't get past it, or, multiple reasons why it may be better that two people don't stay married. But it is. Yeah. And it's still. Do you want to talk about some of those reasons why it would be better? Well, people don't stay married. So people that have been chronically cheated on. Abuse, and cheating, and infidelity, which again is not always automatic. A lot of people choose to stay and to rebuild trust. It's hard to do that, but we walk through people that have gone through infidelity, restoring their marriage all the time. But the word there, when you say chronic cheating, abuse, addiction, people that are abusing drugs or alcohol. I mean, it's so hard, and that's not what you signed up for, right? And some people would disagree with that. You sign up for anything until death do us part. Rich or poor, sickness, health, what's the other one? Better or worse? I know that covers a lot of stuff, but
Yeah, we're not saying that we want you to subject yourself or the Holy Spirit in you to chronic abuse.
No.
And many people, again, they kind of overlook that, using Scripture as something that's like this is a there's no looking back. It's a non-negotiable. But the people who give in to that temptation, that after 2 years, 3 years, we've made a mistake and we're not getting along, we're fighting. The adjustment period that we all go through, it's just too hard and we can't do it. And so we're done. It's getting easier and easier to do that. And there are seeds that are being planted in people's brains. And I'm just going to say it again, social media, it's so hard to combat the programming that social media is doing to our brains. And not just in every facet of our life, it's programming us, and it's not good. And people say, and we don't even know what it's doing to us. We do know what it's doing to us. And again, a lot of people, I'm not going to start quoting statistics, and I'm not going to get into the neuroscience about, I don't know. I'm not going to act like I'm an expert on it. But the empirical evidence, look at our lives, look at our world, look at our culture. It's not helping us. And so we talk all the time about the anxiety that it's inducing, the depression because of the comparison game, or the bullying, or the, I'm not enough because nobody's liking my stuff, or I'm exposed out there, and I'm not liking the comments that I'm getting, and I'm comparing myself to some other influencer or their highlight reels. And so there's this feeling of FOMO or discontent, or I'm not enough. My marriage isn't enough. My husband is a narcissist, because I'm hearing and reading all about narcissism in husbands. So these self-diagnosed husbands, bless their hearts. Are there some narcissists out there? Yes, men and women, absolutely. But I would say 80 to 85, maybe 90% of the people that have been diagnosed by their spouse as a narcissist probably is not. They're probably a man, or they're probably a woman, and they're different than their spouse. But we've been convinced with this negative bias, right? And we're all bent that way, to see the negative. Why is that? Do you know why we're meant to see negative?
For a protective, to protect ourselves.
Absolutely. If there's 3 trees to pay attention to, you could say, just pay attention to all 3 of them. Why would you pick the one that the tiger's in? Well, because we got to live, we got to survive. So I'm going to pay close attention to that tree that has the tiger in it. So in other words, there's tons of areas that social media is negatively wiring our brains, but there's not any that stand out to us any more than the one we're watching, and that's marriage, right? Go ahead.
Well, I
feel like I just totally hijacked
No, you did not.
Sorry.
You can see where it can happen for, I sound like an old lady saying this, but for the young kids, they look at social media, and it's so easy, like you were saying, to compare yourself to everything that you see for yourself. But then I think as far as your marriage, you look at your friends, or you look at influencers, and you look at them traveling together and having fun together with their spouses, or buying this together, or doing this. It just all looks so, romantic and so sexy. And you think, wow, we're so far from that. And if you start growing some kind of a bitter root about that, and of course, your marriage is not going to be perfect. And so no one's marriage is perfect. But you start comparing it against what you're seeing online, and it seems like too far from perfect. And so if you're not, you can start to build this wall of resentment that just gets higher and higher and higher. and it just seems insurmountable. And then if you go on and you don't talk to anybody or get help or try to work on your marriage together, you can see how it could just end up in the ditch, and it just seems too far gone.
That it was the second couple we talked to today. Talk about, it was so great what you told them, like the purpose of marriage. It's not what you think. This amazing thing where two people fall in love, and it's this great, uplifting, amazing thing. But you said it's a crucible. It's like literally a crucible that's going to change and help you learn to die to yourself and sacrifice. Talk about that. Just say it how you try to recreate how you said it to them.
So
it was really good.
She told us a little bit about what happened with her growing up, which was horrific.
Yeah. Traumatic.
And then any past
Extreme
relationships
trauma.
that were, really, really hard. And then the same thing for him, the things that he witnessed, just the trauma, the chaos in his home, just completely, neither one of them felt safe growing up. And so what's so weird is, or just kind of crazy, when you get married and it's many times the person is completely different from you. And all of a sudden,
most of the time.
Yeah. And all of a sudden it can start scratching off that scab of whatever wound you've had before. And all of a sudden you look up and go, oh my gosh, I have married somebody that is bringing out or bringing back or bringing up this wound that I experienced growing up. How did I do this again? Why did I marry this person that would bring this wound back up to me? So if it's somebody that was, if your past was like super loud or yelling and volatile, all of a sudden you're in a marriage with somebody where it starts to get loud and volatile and fighting, and you think, no, I can't be around this. I've got to run the other way. Instead of just completely bailing on that, try to kind of get to the bottom of it and say, okay, wow, I'm bringing out the kind of the very worst in her, and she's bringing out the very worst in me. And so instead of running like many people do, because that's what's natural, you want to run from something that's uncomfortable or something that's hurtful. I'm not talking abuse. I'm just talking about a hard marriage, working through conflict or lack of communication, and you're just so frustrated, and it's just reminding you of it. It's not as bad as your past, but it starts reminding you of something from your past. And rather than sticking and staying and saying, no, let's work through this together, and letting all of that stuff come to the top, and just praying, saying, God, help to just like slough this off the top. Just get this off. We want this out of our relationship, and working through it with them. So what I was telling them was, this could actually be the greatest gift of your life, is marrying somebody that actually brings that up in you, because it's a reminder. It's just it's kind of a dashboard light to say, hey, there's more healing to be done.
Right.
You're still holding on to not just the memories of some things that happened to you growing up or in this past relationship, but the lies that you believed about yourself that were attached to those memories. And I want you to become freer and freer of that.
So ironically, the very things that would trigger me and make me go and start to feel those feelings of the betrayal wound, right, that I had, and the lies that I believed about myself from being cheated on previously, instead of being married to, and I won't say, the most faithful person. Obviously you're faithful, but here you are, instead of being married to this wallflower who's just going to be puppy dog, follow me around and just hanging on me. You're one that doesn't, naturally just show a ton of affection. You are very friendly to other people. So the ironic twist is, the thing that's going to bring out my woundedness, I married that person. The thing that's going to bring out your woundedness, you married that person. And it's not like, oh, wow, God made a mistake. In his providential hand, he brought these two people together and they're pushing each other's buttons. No, like wow, what a great, great gift that we have an opportunity to put ourselves in this uncomfortable situation, to have that wound triggered, but to now believe that this situation is different. This person's different. And more than anything, I'm different. Now I'm going to show up differently. I'm going to have to believe new things about myself. So that when you are being friendly to everyone out there, I have to be able to say, okay, Brian, don't go crazy here. Don't think she's out cheating on you or wants to be with someone else. Learn to trust that she's faithful. She loves me. God's going to let me heal my heart, heal that wound. It's not that it's never going to be triggered. It's going to be triggered. So if you're finding yourself in that situation, that's very, very normal. And you're thinking, man, how crazy, or what are the odds? The odds are very high, we see. And it's so crazy. And people could say, oh, you're just somehow subconsciously looking for that, or, you're trauma bonded, or blah, 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 blah. We just believe that it's a crucible in a way that God's going to help you heal those old wounds. Yeah.
And I think it doesn't matter who you marry. When you're around somebody 24/7 for year after year after year, they're going to start to bug you. It's not your twin. I don't care if you're married to your twin, they'd start to bug you. You're usually very different from each other. And so even things that used to attract you to each other now kind of repel you or make you think, ooh, that's weird or dumb or wrong or whatever. And so it's just pressing through those feelings of like, did I marry the wrong person? Or marriage shouldn't be this hard. Love should look more like this. Or this is what I've read, or this is what I've seen that a relationship should look like. I owe it to myself to be in a, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're living in some kind of fairyland where that's not reality. And so I think what I've really started to see more and more, that just the more that we work with couples, people throw in the towel, I think, way too soon.
Yeah.
Where I just don't think that they've turned over every single stone.
That's why, and when they come in, so first, it's so hard because one of the things we hear all the time, as a matter of fact, I would say I hear it probably 8 out of 10 couples when they come in and I say, tell me what's going on. If it's not some acute crisis because of infidelity, many times it's like we just don't communicate well. We have a hard time communicating. Things escalate. Maybe we don't fight a ton, but when we do, man, it escalates quickly. And it's like goes nutso. And it's very volatile. But this lack, I'm not feeling heard. I'm not feeling understood. And so when you look at that, obviously the first thing we're going to look at is let's get to the previous relationship wounds, right? Did you have a relationship that went south and was damaging, and you have some baggage from those and some unhealed wounds from that old relationship, or the family of origin stuff, how different you are. But when you're that different, as you said, when you show up and this other person is so different, it's like, what the heck are you doing? What are you talking about? Or wait, I want to talk this out right now. Wait, you want to go and take a break? You want to leave? You're wanting to go process this on your own? And the other one, no, let's talk it out right now. It's like, no, I want time to process. Or I feel defensive because I feel like you're attacking. Well, I'm aggressive because I feel like you're not listening. And just all the things that conjures up in these people. Yeah. And then, of course, right off the bat, well, it's tit for tat, or it's escalating, and we're now calling each other names, or we're hurt. We don't feel like our spouse loves us, or they don't care for us. And so then the resentment starts to build, and they start to withdraw, and now they're not talking at all. And now, if you're not talking before, at least maybe you had to go out and, meet someone that was going to listen to you or was going to talk to you, and make you feel valued, make you feel worth. But now it's just, man, you just grab the phone. And so the addiction to the phone. And then if you're in that negative thought process about your spouse, you will find someone that you're going to compare instantly and think, wow, I've made a mistake. I've missed it. The grass is greener. Maybe I should consider another option. When before, thousands of those other options weren't at your fingertips. So one of the things I would say, and we can come back to, the communication thing and the differences, but if you found yourself there, as we've just been talking about this, and I know a lot of people may be hearing that going, yeah, I'm there right now, or I've been there. Look, if you want to reset, turn off your phone. And I mean this. We talk about it all the time, but turn it off. And I don't mean not making a phone call or not getting text from your family, but truly do a fast from social media. Get off social media. Like, we know the benefits of fasting in the nutrition world. I mean, some people don't, but think about all the things that if you can just fast from that activity, fast from that from eating, fast from watching too much TV, fast from if you're spending way too much time at a hobby, So giving things up, sacrificing some things, stop, put something down for the benefit of some other thing and put something else in its place. So we're creatures of habit. So we're habitually staring at our phones. So if you just said, I'm going to put down social media and I'm not going to look at that, and I'm not even saying you got to replace it with prayer or Bible study. Just watch what happens with your attitude towards your spouse. Just start paying attention to your spouse when you were staring at your phone and just see what happens. I mean, I dare you to do it 7 days, like literally a 1 week fast from social media. And I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done. I mean, you want to radically get some revelation on your emotions, your spiritual life, and your physical health, fast from food for 7 days. Like literally just do water for 7 days. Like I've done it. And it's insane. And you know what I realized when I did that? Most of what I missed, it was the social aspect. It was like this emotional part of eating. It was like a reward system. It's something I looked forward to. Or I was with you or I've finished a long day. What are we going to eat? And it was so crazy. It wasn't about the physical hunger. That kind of went away after 3 days. It was this social thing and this kind of, I was lonely and I was missing out on this habitual thing that I look forward to kind of fit in. Well, it's the same thing with social media. But there's a lot of things that if you give your brain a break, you just watch what happens, especially as it pertains to your marriage.
It's interesting just in talking to couples every day, we'll throw something out that just seems so simple, not anything earth shattering. Right. And they've never thought of it or thought of it in the context of marriage. And then to see when people say they'll come back and see us the next week and say, I implemented that. I tried that. I just did that one little thing and I cannot believe how it's changed our communication or the way that we, connect with each other. It's really cool. Sometimes you are so much closer than you think to a healthier marriage.
Yeah. And I can't believe I'm looking at the time.
I know it's time.
Okay. So let's do this. There's something that I don't remember where I saw it, but I just literally mentioned it at a wedding I did at the Drover last Saturday. And it wasn't even in the ceremony. It was before a prayer that I did. I said, most of us, bless our hearts, we come to marriage very selfishly. And it's this most immature, let's say, look at love. And I know I was there. And it's, I love you for how you make me feel. If we're honest, if you look back, man, I love you for how you make me feel. And then you may go to, I love you for what you do for me, but we need to get to, I love you for who you are. Like literally, I love you for who you are. But I remember getting to the point of, like you said earlier, I was annoyed at who you were. Maybe I was first attracted to some of those things. And then of course, that gregarious, outgoing, social butterfly that quickly became, look at her, she's got to be the freaking center of attention. She's trying to be a stand-up comedian or whatever. And man, getting back to just seeing you for who you are. And I know you're seeing the difference in me, and it's like what took me so long. But truly valuing, we say this all the time. It's not just tolerating the differences, right? First, you hate them or you fight about them, but then it's okay. I'm going to tolerate those. No, I'm going to learn to value them and then treasure them. Like, thank you, God, for giving me this woman who's different than me. And when you put down your phone for 7 days and start paying attention to who your spouse is, what they like, what they're saying to you. Like, are you even giving them a chance to talk to you? Have you checked in with them? Are you looking them in the eye like we're doing right now? And just see what happens when you start to truly like get curious about them again. Like, who are you? What are you thinking about? What are you afraid of? What are you concerned about? What do you like? What makes you laugh? What music do you love? You know, what are your favorite things to eat right now? What are your concerns about your physical health, about your business, about your kids? And I mean, focus on that. And then when you see that spouse show up differently than you and they think differently and they bring this up and it's like, well, I would have never thought that, or I wouldn't have ever done that. Just think to yourself, what a gift that is. And man, look at them and look what they bring to this marriage. I mean, I think about you all the time, what you bring to this, just this marriage, this family, to our grandkids, to this business, to Long Haul. I mean, it's amazing. Aww. The other day we were sitting there at that big deal at the TMS, the big screening of
movie night.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon movie night, and watching you as a Mimi to those kids at the restaurant before, and then sitting there on that quilt. You know, all the adults are in chairs, or sitting on the back, in their tailgates or whatever, and you're down there sitting Indian style on the quilt with the kids. And I just thought, look at that. That's just an amazing Mimi, very, very different than me. And just the value that you brought to that night.
Look at you. I could go on and on about the papa that you are. Who do they run to? Mostly you now, sometimes me, but they love their papa who is wild and crazy with them and plays crazy in the pool and will swing them. And so
and I guess the point, and we're 36 minutes, but the point, it's you may hear us and think, oh, let's listen to them. Oh, it must be nice. You're so in love, or it's so sweet, or y'all don't resent each other. Guys, it was hell. We got to where there was contempt.
There
was
back
criticism.
And listen to number 1 and 2.
Yeah, go listen to podcast 1 and 2 on our break. But it's just crazy. My point is, it's what you focus on. It's what you're choosing to focus on. It's what you're choosing to believe. You have a choice. That's why I was saying earlier, the marriage doesn't dissolve on its own. We allow it to dissolve. If I fixate on something that I don't like about you, if I think, you know what, she's not showing me affection, and I start looking around, the minute I start saying that, I'm focused on that. Now I'm going to start getting on my phone and seeing these affectionate, wives with their husbands, and I start comparing you. I'm dead. You're dead, right? Yeah. And there's no way that that's going to work. And so it's like when people say, if you went to a doctor and said, hey, can you help me, man? I've got stage 3 or 4 lung cancer, but don't tell me I need to stop smoking. Like, can you help me, please? But I'm going to keep smoking. A lot of you are asking for help, but you will not get off social media. And you're like, man, why is he talking about social media? It's the one thing that's killing our marriages, I believe, more than anything else right now. I mean, it's killing our culture. It's killing our society. And you may think, well, no. I mean, look, it's Netflix, or it's all the streaming services, or it's AI. Yeah, sorry, Netflix. There's so many things vying for our attention. I get it. And they're distractions. Maybe you think it's watered down theology in our churches and this and that. But I believe it's the phone. And yes, I'm addicted. Jamie's addicted. That's why I'm calling, like, if you're serious about it, if you're serious about anything, do something drastic. And yes, you're going to have to do something that's sustainable, that you can start, okay, a couple of days a week, I'm going to do a fast and intermittent fasting, right? With your health. Recently I've said I'm going to skip food for 24 to 36 hours. And then I'll do an eating window on the other days. Well, that went from, I went from 220 down to 209 doing that in my physical health, right? And that's just my weight, but I feel better, less heartburn, less wheezing. I'm not taking heartburn pills. So what could maybe a 36-hour fast for my phone and then do an intermittent, fasting windows for my phone consumption or my social media consumption? What could that do for our marriage? Yeah. Or our life, our brains. All right, baby. Listen, let's come on. I was pretty rough today, wasn't I?
No, you weren't rough.
Bring us up. Give us something really positive.
Well,
I feel like I'm getting on to people.
No, you're not. You're just trying to help them,
here.
and you're helping us too.
Yeah,
we just want healthier individuals, whether you're married or not. We want you to feel healthier. We want you to feel whole.
Yeah.
And then if you are in a relationship or in a marriage, then your spouse, we want them to be healthy and whole. Two healthy individuals can make a healthy marriage, and it's beautiful.
We started out.
That's what we want.
That's awesome. We started out talking about this project because I don't post a lot, and I'm working on a project that I can't wait to share with the world. But when you're working on, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but let's say if you were working on your own little project, and what it was every morning you got up and the first thing you did was write 3 things that you appreciate about your spouse. When you're focused on that, then I remember tonight I got perturbed when we were walking in the parking lot, walking into the restaurant, and I sat down, and instead of just choosing to nurse that irritation and to be perturbed, and I looked at you, and what my thoughts were, this project that I'm working on. And so for you out there that maybe aren't working on a longer project, and I know you're going, why does he keep talking about this project? But if your little goal was to write the 3 things that you appreciate about your spouse, and then you look across the table and you're going to make a choice to either be annoyed or you're going to think about those 3 things that you truly, truly appreciate about your spouse, that's one of the best brain hacks that's happened for me in a long time. And I think what you're seeing and hearing recently is the benefit of where my thought life is in relation to you. And it makes a difference.
It does.
Truly makes a difference.
It does. It's been really sweet.
Yeah.
And you don't only think it, but you tell me too.
Yeah. So it's
very sweet.
You express it. So, I mean, it's a little hack. So a little hack. No, that's not our project we're working on. There's no little hacks coming. Anyway, so this has been Rambling at the End. Guys, we love you. We thank you for tuning in. Take a nice little break in the month of August.
We will see you back September.
We'll be back strong in September. And hey, reach out to us. Be looking for some information about a ladies retreat and a marriage retreat coming up in the fall as well. We're excited about that. And we would love to see you there.
Yes. Have a great week.